Next up on the number one tee.
Well, hello and welcome back to your virtual tea time. My name is Tori, and we have a dear friend with me today because we are fresh off the VISION54 3-day human skills camp. Actually, you did it in November. I have Jennifer Glumbecki here. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Tori.
So here's the thing. Whenever I think of Jenny, all I think of is the game What's Up? Because Jenny was with us in Ireland, and one of the games we play on the bus is What's Up? And I have never seen anyone so focused and so in the game that it does not surprise me that she went to the VISION54 camp just to zone it in even more. So all I know is that when we go to Scotland in September, I want to make sure that you're on my team.
Yes, definitely. I get really competitive. I get a little loud and I want to win.
Yeah. Actually, me too. I am the exact same way. So, Jenny, before we get into our experience at the camp, can you tell the audience how you got started in golf and what your journey has been like?
Sure. So, when I was younger, I golfed with my father and then I kind of gave it up, played softball, played all the other sports, hung it up. And then during the pandemic, there wasn't a whole lot to do. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try golf again. And so I grabbed my niece and nephew and took them out there with me. And we golfed all around like Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan and just started. And then I started taking lessons and, I started playing a lot to try to get better. And then I found you and started following you and decided to join you guys in Ireland.
I know. What was that decision like? Because what a big, first of all, commitment that is, and just like diving into something that of the unknown and coming to Ireland with the 12 of us. I mean, we had such a great time, but what made you make that decision?
Nothing to lose, right? Just everything to gain and nothing to lose at that point of the journey, right? Like, again, following you and seeing some of the other women on the trip and just the positive experience. I just thought it can't be bad. I can just grow and learn from it. And so that's what I did. I said, screw it. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to go. I don't know a soul. And I made 12 great new friends.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? And when we went to Ireland, so the first round we played was at Royal Dublin, and Jenny and I were paired on the very first day. How was that?
Yes.
How was that? We had Carrie with us and we had Deborah with us.
Correct. It was a little intimidating because you and, Carrie, and you were, you guys are really awesome. And so, earlier in my journey, but you guys were so welcoming and kind, and I learned. So it was amazing. And we wore matching skirts.
We did. And that was not on purpose. I mean, What are the odds that we just bang that out the first round? And it's one of my favorites. I'll have to show, if you're watching this on YouTube, you see a picture of our matching outfits that day. Oh my God, love that skirt. Yeah. I got to have Katie from Jaybird on. She's an amazing business owner, young business owner of Jaybird Golf Apparel. And it's one of my favorite brands. Okay, so what was your, just out of curiosity, what was your handicap index going into Ireland? Because one of the main questions I get all the time is, is this for me? Do you have to be a certain golf level? Will I feel uncomfortable? Will I feel rushed? What was your handicap index?
All questions I asked you.
Yeah.
22.
22 handicap index. Did you ever feel out of place or not in the right group?
No. And what was really interesting, and this ties into VISION54 too, I think the more you get in the zone and you start being comfortable and you stop thinking, you start playing better. So I played my best golf, I think, at Adair, like on our last day.
Yeah. Oh my God. What was your favorite course in Ireland?
Royal County Down.
Yeah, that was pretty spectacular.
And just the views everywhere. You just walked around. It was like you even forgot you were golfing. You were there to golf. It was just spectacular everywhere you looked.
I know. For you listening, if you ever get the opportunity to go over to Ireland, make sure Royal County Down is one of the courses you play. It is it's something special for sure. And we got a great day and we had great caddies and just the overall experience was fantastic. So we have
rain.
A little bit, nothing
a little
much.
Bit sprinkle, yeah.
And no wind. We got so lucky. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have Desert Classic coming up. You're joining us at Desert Classic, and you are paired with one of the Ireland participants. So that too happens. When you come to an event as a single player, you usually walk away with lots of partner options for the next events. What are you thinking about with Desert Classic?
Really looking forward to it, paired with Nancy. And then we got 2 other ladies joining us too, I think, in that Fletch and goodness, who else is joining us?
Fletcher and Darcy.
Darcy, yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
We're
So it'll be fun. It'll be a little reunion. I know.
I can't wait. Go Bills. Anyways, so, and then we're going to finish off with Scotland in September. We're going to have an absolute blast. Have you ever been to Scotland?
Yes, I have. So, in part of my mad rush golf journey last summer, I actually took my niece and nephew, my golf partners, I took them to Scotland. And so we did golf in Scotland before I decided on a whim to go to Ireland.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's get into the Vision 54 camp. What made you sign up for this camp in particular?
Going back to, Ireland, I was speaking to one of the other women, asking for some tips on how she became a better golfer in her journey. And she said one of the best things I did was the Vision 54 camp. And so it was Ilum. And so Ilum recommended it to me. And so when I got back home, I looked it up and I, found a date that worked for me and I just signed up. I'm like, well, this is going to help. This will help me on my journey because Ilum's a fantastic golfer. And I golf with her. And so, just wanting to participate and learn and grind it out. And so that's why and how I found it.
Had you ever read any of Lynn Pia's stuff before, or were you going in there not knowing anything at all?
I read the books before I went to the camp, but before I had signed up, I had not.
Yeah. So going into the camp, now wait, didn't you meet one of our other players for Scotland going into the camp? What happened there?
I sure did. So the first day we were dropped off at the driving range and I was in Mia's car, one of the women who works the camp cart, waiting for another woman to come in. And so my bag is in the cart. And so Rochelle comes over and she puts her bag in the car and she's like, whose bag is this? I'm like, that's mine. She's like, we have the same head cover. And I had the F-Bombs driver head cover. And she also had the F-Bombs driver head cover. I was like, get out of here. And then she's like, I just did Desert Classic. I was like, no way. I went to Ireland and
I think she was at Dallas.
Met everybody.
Right? Dallas.
She was at Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas shootout.
She was at Dallas. Yeah. And then she's like, on a whim, just like I just talked about what I did with Ireland, she had signed up not knowing a soul for Scotland. I was like, well, guess what? Now you have a friend. Now you know someone.
Oh my gosh. And then you guys sent me a picture that day, or I'm not sure how it happened. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. And I also had a couple players from our Pebble Beach trip go to the Vision 54 camp in December too. So it's just so funny because I think that Lynn and Pia and myself, we're all talking to the same player, the woman that really wants to get better, is just so embraces the sport from all different angles and just wants to excel, wants to play the best golf that she can. And so it's so funny that there's so many overlapping players that come to my events and go to Vision 54 camps. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Same. It was amazing. That I met Rochelle and then the camp itself amazing. And I'm sure we're going to dig into that here in a minute.
Yes, absolutely. So we both did. Now, Vision 54 offers many different types of camps. And they have 2-3 full day camps. One is called Human Skills. And then there's another one called Super Golfer. Now, when I signed up, which was shortly after I interviewed Lynn and Pia back in December, I just looked at the schedule and I went based off of the dates that would work for my schedule. And this Human Skills camp was in a perfect spot where I could, be there and be fully present and, take advantage of it in a time that I was a little slow. My schedule was a little slow. Now, I signed up for it, though, thinking it was a super golfer camp, but it was actually this Human Skills camp, which is funny because I think that's the golf gods steering me actually in the right direction where I need to be. No, you don't need to go to super golfer. You need to do human skills. Let's start here. How did you just pick out this Human Skills camp, or was it based off of your schedule also?
No, I actually called Christine, or I spoke with Christine, who is works at Vision54, and I asked her which one she thought would be best suited for my skills and my goals and what I wanted to do. And so she had suggested that this one might be a good one for me. And then from there, I picked out a date that worked.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So tell me what your first impression was. Like within the first couple hours, what were you thinking?
I was thinking it was nothing that I was thinking, because I thought we'd learn. I didn't know what I thought, but I thought there'd be some technical golf aspect, like you'd learn how to like hold the club, or like, oh no, make sure your shoulder's up here, don't turn. It's none of that. It's all about your mindset, what you think, what you feel, how to be balanced. So it's nothing technical, which surprised me, but was absolutely amazing, right? In terms of the growth and what I took away from it.
Yeah. I think they like to call themselves game coaches. Is that what it is? They consider themselves game coaches. And I love that too, because what a relief it is to go into, again, a really comprehensive, accelerated learning environment and not have to take on swing technique. Like, talk about exhausting if that was the case, right? And instead, it is all these human skills and teaching us how to play the game, but also really based on you as a human. Correct. And helping you enjoy the game even more.
Correct. It was really interesting in the group that I had, when you would practice some of the human skills and you'd get together and everybody would talk about their experience and what worked for them or what didn't work for them. And it really goes to the uniqueness of every player, because what worked for me didn't work for the next person. Right. I would try like visualizing the ball. I'm like, I can't see it, not seeing it, not working. That does not work. Not work. Next.
That's so funny that you say that. Because yes, one of the exercises is that you visualize a red line going on your ball flight. And that just made no sense to me whatsoever. I was like, I went to Christine. I'm like, Christine, what is this visualize a red line mean? And she told me, I'm like, okay, how about visualizing a blue line? She's like, and she explained that to me. I was like, oh, okay, no, pass. Those don't work for me. And you find the things that work.
Yeah. For me, it was the feel, really like feeling it like that. That really worked for me, and closing my eyes, which was something I didn't think. I'm like, this is crazy town, like, right? But it really worked. And then tying that into one of the drills that we did that was fantastic was the club throwing. I don't know if you did the club throwing, but the club throwing with my eyes closed, fantastic.
So yes, one of the drill that Jenny is explaining is literally club throwing. So you go, I don't remember what the purpose of it was. I did not end up doing it. But when Mia, one of the Vision54 instructors, was showing it, the first club throw she did went so far left, and so it almost went like backwards. It scared me from doing it because I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to be me throwing it into the golf course by accident.
So it's not your own club. They have some old clubs that you get there and throw. It's to really feel it. It's really to see like where the release is on your club, because you could always, hit the ball at a different angle with the face, but when you're throwing the club, you're going to see the club path and where it's going. So you get to feel that and see it more viscerally than just with the ball.
Yes. So let's back up a little bit and kind of go over what the day looks like at the camp. Okay. So again, these are 3 full days. So most of the time you're there from 8:30 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. And the day is broken up into lessons and practice time. And then from noon to 1 o'clock, you have lunch, which is right on campus there, super easy. And then from 2 to 4, you go out onto the golf course and play 6 holes of golf, which their headquarters, their camp is located at Talking Stick Golf Club in Scottsdale. And Talking Stick has a ginormous range. So you have your own private space there just for the camp players. And then they have 2 golf courses there. So you switch pretty much every day which golf course you go on to. And if you want to continue playing the rest of your round after those 6 holes of golf, you can. So that's kind of how the day was laid out. And you have, for the most part, 3 main instructors with you. And how many players did you have in your camp? I think we had 12. No, or it could have been 10.
We had 8.
Okay.
We had 8.
Yeah, I think we had 9 or 10. I think they took on 2, maybe 1 or 2 extra this one. But you have 3 instructors to 8 to 10 players. So you are kind of always have one eyeball on you, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your feel of the overall day, how the schedule was? Did it feel fast or slow to you? What did you like about it? Is there anything you didn't like?
I thought it was really well laid out. I liked that the morning was spent practicing some of the drills. So you get for everyone listening to you, they give you a little journal. And so you practice all these skills, and the purpose is to write down in your journal what works and what doesn't, so that you can really take it away and I think and ingrain those skills with you. So you spend the morning working on those, and then you get into small groups and you talk about it with each other, right? And kind of learn from each other what worked, what didn't, what people are feeling. I think also learning to honing on that human skills, how to let go of the bad things and remember the good things. Like you said, you eat lunch, you take a break, and then in the afternoon, a little bit more practice and you go on the course. And there you get to apply all the skills that you just practiced in the morning, what worked or what didn't, and see how it works on the course. And now when you're doing it on the course, it's really practice. You're not keeping score. You'll go to a hole and they'll be like, pick one skill, like whatever it is you want. You just want to work on your balance, or you want to finish your holes, or you want to work on your feel. And who cares where the ball goes? Just, can you do this one thing? So it changes your mindset about what you're doing out there in terms you're practicing, but you're practicing on the course, and you don't care about the outcome so much as you care about, like, did you commit to what you said you would do? And how does that make you feel afterwards? So trying to really get into those feelings, that human skill part of it.
Exactly. And how was your attitude or feeling going into playing those 6 holes for the first time? Were you feeling nervous? What was your experience like? Yeah.
Yes, I was definitely nervous at first until I got through the first hole or two. And then I was like, wait, this is fun. Like let go of the judgment and just embrace the tiny piece of it that I'm trying to do, knowing it's not all going to be perfect, but it's part of the journey, right? Like, get this piece done and then the rest will follow.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but again, so let's say we're out on the golf course and we're just focusing on balance, or we're just focusing on tempo, and I mishit a shot. They are not coming up to you and telling you how to correct your swing. Like, that is not happening. They are just asking you if you committed to your shot. They're asking you how it felt. They're asking what other things might they ask, Jenny? Like,
how did you feel? Like, what did you take away? I think those are the types of things that they ask.
Yeah. It's never about technique. So once you really realize that's what's happening, you are able to kind of let go of all the outcomes that are going on in those 6 holes and not worry about, what other people are thinking. And that's really how we should be out on the course too. But it's still, it's still tough. Us as golfers, we want to do really well.
It is. And one of the things, I think it was Christine, she said, you shouldn't make change to your technique until you've honed in on your balance, tempo, and tension. Because most of the times when you're mishitting and you're not doing something well, it's because your balance, your tempo, or your tension is off. You probably don't need to change your technique. You just need to fix that.
Exactly. And I remember, I think it was the first day we were out on the course. We were on the last hole, the 6th hole for us, and it was a par 5, and I hit a great drive. And it put me in a position where I had a pretty short yardage into the green to where, I had a 7-iron in my hand. So I was thinking, okay, let's get on the green in 2, feeling good. And I go up to my ball. And let me tell you, Jenny, I shanked the ball so poorly. That thing just went right into the desert to the right. It was brutal. And right after I swung and that happened, Mia goes, take a breath. How'd that feel? Take a breath. Take a breath.
But it's a good point to make, because that is one of the skills they taught you on the course, right? When you have a mishit and it's clearly not what you wanted to do, how to let that go and focus on, well, what did you do right? I committed to my shot.
Exactly.
Like, were you balanced? Like, focus on the positive and not the negative. Like, take that breath and don't imprint that negative action, so that you take that with you, like, to the next hole, and then you may get trepidatious and, grip too tight and miss it again.
Yeah, exactly. So overall, as how the day is structured, I thought was really brilliant, and it worked well for me and my personality, because to me, I noticed that they didn't really have us doing the same thing for more than 15, 20 minutes. You were either in a lesson where you were being taught something. Within 15 to 20 minutes, you were out on the range practicing that, but only for 15 to 20 minutes. And then you were back learning. And it was like constant change and shifting so that you were not getting bored at all. Like you were constantly engaged. And that helped me a ton because the main thing I wanted to do going into this camp was to stay as present as possible, which for me is tough. I am constantly wanting to pick up my phone, check into social media, text, emails, just get distracted, because I'm going off, like my brain is going off into a different direction. But the structure that they have to this camp, which is very intentional, and it almost appears to be down to the minute, is very helpful for myself. How did you feel about how they structured it?
I agree. My mind flits around a lot and it's hard for me to stay focused unless I'm really engaged. So I agree it was the right amount of time for each drill and the right amount of interaction with the instructors too, because it's a small group. They come up and they do check in with you. Again, not on your technique, but how the different things are working and giving you feedback, on what to do or what may work for you. I didn't know that I would like it. Like I was a little, again, nervous about the group sessions where we all shared our thoughts and our feelings, but I turned out to love it. Like I loved everyone. I loved everybody opening up and sharing their own journeys and where they were in their game. For example, there were 2 women who were in their late 70s in our group and they were fantastic golfers. And one of them she had some health issues and she was struggling. She wasn't golfing as well as she knew she could. And she lost the joy of golf for her. And so part of the reason she came to camp was to see if she could pick up the bug again. And by the end of it, I golfed the last day with her on the 3rd day. She was having so much fun, like laughing and smiling. And like for her, that journey was like in that camp, just learning to love the game again and stop getting upset with herself, when she didn't perform like she thought she could. Yeah. And that was so fun to watch. It was so fun to watch everybody's journey and the pieces that they took away from it. Like you were just so happy for everybody.
Yeah.
And like how they grew.
And actually we had a player, well, first of all, I was there for that. I'm trying to find the joy in the game again too. But we had another player, her name was Charlotte, who also was an ex-pro, who was on the older side. I'm not sure if she was in her 50s, 60s, or 70s, not sure, but she was there too to find the joy in golf again and not be so hard on herself and just really embrace golf for what it is again. So I too got to watch that journey. We had a professional female player that's on the Asian tour. She was there. And then you had a bunch of recreational golfers, all different types of handicap indexes. And it didn't matter. Like the different levels that were going on from recreational golfer, 25 handicap index, all the way to Amy, who was the professional player in the Asian tour. Like we were all learning the same things. It didn't matter how we hit the golf ball whatsoever. It's quite amazing. And they're from all over. I was the only player there that was from Arizona. So it's quite something.
There wasn't anybody from Arizona in mine. Some Florida, Washington, Maine. Yeah, everybody was from all over as well. But you hit on a good point, right? It doesn't matter where you are in your journey because it's just the journey. You're not actually golfing to keep score. You're golfing to see like the practice rounds, like, right? How you're applying these techniques and how you feel. Yeah. So it's a totally different focus than trying to keep score on the scorecard. And they talk about that, quite a bit in the camp too. Like when you're practicing, don't worry about your score. Yeah. If you keep worrying about your score, don't judge yourself based on that number. Yeah. Right? Like don't make that the end game.
Yeah. Yeah. It was quite fantastic. Overall, I highly recommend it. And I really do feel like a lot of players don't know this is available. And it was very important to me to, when I interviewed Lynn and Pia, it was important to me to actually go experience the camp and share my experience because I know that a lot of you, this would really help your game and not only help your game and lower your scores, but have you enjoy golf more. And if you're listening and you're struggling right now, I get it. I'm in the same place. And I want to talk about my experience going into the next couple rounds after I finished the camp, but how your overall experience, Jenny, how many people, I bet you've been referring people to this camp since you left also.
100%. I actually signed up my niece and nephew. They have a junior version that they can do online, and we're trying to figure out how to get out there so they can go in person, because I think the skills you learn, you can apply just not to golf, but to life, right? It's all about not being hard on yourself in general, giving yourself a break, being in the moment, taking away the good and how to let go of the bad. So not only do I think it's great for your golf game, I think it's good for just life balance in general. And a reminder that there's good and there's good people, and you could have a good community of people who are all cheering for everybody, to just finish their, just be balanced on your swing. Just hold your finish, just that one thing. And it's rewarding. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. You don't have to, be a scratch golfer. You can just enjoy the little moments, and people can be happy for you wherever you are in the journey.
Exactly. So we finished up the camp, and I actually had a 2-day stroke play tournament right after. So we finished the camp on Monday, and Tuesday, Wednesday was a 2-day stroke play tournament in the President's Cup. And I literally went into day one thinking, this is going to be the best round I ever play. I was so optimistic. I was feeling good. It was like I was on cloud 9. I mean, you left the camp each day just feeling like you were on cloud 9. Your energy was high. You just felt so good about golf. And so I really carried that on to the round on Tuesday. I didn't feel tired. It'd been a long 3 days, but I felt enthusiastic and energized and ready to go. And I get up to the first tee, and I just push my drive right into OB. First shot of the round. And it was comical, first of all, but it was just, it's hard for me to explain this round. A lot of things went bad. Okay. It did not go in my favor. I ended up shooting an 83 that day, I think. Yeah. 83. And which for me was a higher than I had hoped. And the entire round, I was practicing everything that we learned from the camp during this round. And it ended up being 2 rounds. I was just really practicing what we learned because they were 2 tough rounds. And I have to say, after each round, I felt really good and really grateful. You know what I mean? I was really able to take the challenge, and there were so many good things about those 2 rounds. And yeah, there's a couple things I need to work on, but I was really able to practice what I had learned. And if I did go out and have 2 fantastic rounds, who knows if it really, you learn the most from your losses and from those tough rounds. So it was just interesting the way that it went. How about you? How the first time you went back on the course after camp, what was your experience like?
It's winter in Chicago. And we're not, so I haven't really got to go out and play much. I have been out a few times, but it's a little different there, but I have a different mindset. I was going to ask you, did you keep, one of the things at VISION54, they give you a little journal they want you to keep in your golf bag to pull out to remind you of good things or little mantras you have, and also, make notes. And so that's been something I've been trying to work on to make sure it's there. And I read it and I look at it, and that I, make notes. During your 2 rounds, did you reference it all, or did you write anything down to help you on your journey?
So I didn't actually take it out during my golf round, but I used their little scorecard. So they give you a scorecard to help you kind of rate how your round is going through each shot. And I'm not going to explain it all because these are things that you'll learn in the camp, and they're just fantastic resources for you when you join. But that really helped me. I had my playing purpose for each day, and it just helped me keep me grounded. I actually remember when they told you to have a song or some sort of signal to click you out of a bad shot. Well, my signal is the song Mamma Mia. And let me tell you, okay, for 2 days, I was singing Mamma Mia for 18 holes. I would hit a shot that didn't go my way. I'd be like, Mamma Mia. No, because I don't really know the words. So it's like, Mamma Mia. No.
But one of the things I did do, because I haven't got to golf, they sell these little practice cards.
Yes.
Right. Like, so
I got those too.
Yeah. So instead of like, mindlessly going to the range and just, banging out balls, they teach you, it's a different skill set they'll give you. They'll be like, close your eyes, feel focused. So when it's random, you can pick them up based on, think box, play box. What is it? Think box, play box.
Memory box.
What am I missing? Memory box. Yeah, memory box. And you focus on, one of each. And so it gives you some intention and some grounding to be more purposeful in your practice from a human skill standpoint instead of a technical standpoint.
Yes, I actually grabbed those too, which reminds me, before we finish up the episode, I do want to show, again, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see, but you get like a little bag with a bunch of stuff. So, when you first show up, you get kind of your main workbook and you get a hat and some other goodies that I'll let be a surprise. But within the 3-day journey, you just add more and more resources to this bag. And it is completely full. So again, I want to keep it a secret on the special things they give out. But they really, like I said before, you can tell how intentional this camp is and how focused they are on the schedule. And I mean, it's just quite something. And I've been to a lot of golf camps that seem to like go off a whim, like just kind of do it. This one is so structured, and you can tell that they have fine-tuned it over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I think the instructors are just fantastic,
Amazing.
Right? Like the mindset, how they come in, they make everybody feel so comfortable and welcome no matter where they are in the journey, and positive and reinforcing everything. You do come away like on cloud 9. And a lot of that is the instructors and their way to communicate their own journeys and, and where they are, and then help give you the skill set, to take that, when you leave the camp as well. But I have to say, everyone was just phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Christine, Zach, and Mia. Fantastic. And they had another, I forgot her name, but she was another helper there, young golfer, fantastic. I mean, the team there, they have a one-of-a-kind team, and they make you feel so welcome and just grateful to be there. So we were lucky to attend. So moving forward, what is your golf goal for 2024? What's going to go on in 2024 with your golf game and just overall experience?
Yeah, I got fitted for clubs, so those are rolling in.
How was that experience?
Not what I expected at all. I know you've talked about it, but I didn't realize how intense it would be, like going through the full bag. And I honestly thought a little bit of it would be hocus pocus, but it's not. Like, it's really science. You could see the data and where your ball goes and what works and what doesn't. So I have my new irons, and I've been practicing with those, and I could tell a huge difference. So for those on the fence, not thinking it makes a difference, it does. It was a phenomenal experience. So check that off the list, got that done. I've been starting some of my more technical lessons up again indoors. So working on that. So my goal is to consistently break 90, this year, and to enjoy it more, right? And kind of let go, but some of the skills from VISION54, right? Yeah. Learn to let go of the bad and just really enjoy the ability I get to be outside, be with friends or be with strangers and just meet people and just like take everything in. Yeah. Life is good. Being
in the cold weather and actually also being a very busy businesswoman, how do you fit in golf when you can? So actually scratch the whole winter thing. Being super busy as in your work environment, how do you fit in golf? How do you manage your expectations, with your golf game and golf scores, et cetera?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, it's challenging, right? Because I work full time. And so like I can get out a couple nights during the week, to practice. I don't have not enough daylight to play, but I just, I set a boundary that I'll leave work here and I'll go practice from this time to this time. And then the same on the weekends, right? Like I usually golf both days and maybe practice because it's the only time that I really have to do it. But it's very purposeful. It's setting aside the time and, making it, a priority. And I find it very fulfilling though, right? I'm a regimented person to begin with. I like schedules. I like orders. So it's easy for me to, to do that. But I realize like I can't golf, in the ladies league at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday because I'm at work, but that's okay, right? I just have to find my journey in this lots of time I do have open, which is why for me, the Ireland trip was fantastic, right? Because I got to be with a bunch of women the whole time in a setting where it's hard for me otherwise, because there's not a lot of leagues on the weekend where I can participate in.
Yeah, totally get it. So I am so excited for you to play the Desert Classic. Do you think it's going to be your first big tournament? I don't even want to say big tournament, but I mean, it is a tournament. It's a legit tournament.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm so excited for you to experience it. And again, all our buddies will be there, but it will, I can't wait to hear your feedback after and what you thought with your game and how you went into it and everything. So that will be interesting to see. And, you know, we'll be in Scotland in no time. Oh my God, I cannot wait.
Me neither. And for me, it's about the journey, right? Like, and I talked about that too, right? It's about the growth. It's not about the outcome. It's like continuing to grow and to learn. And that's what I'm taking away from all of this, is like continue on this year and go into, you know, Desert Classic. It's just a journey. Like, what do I learn? I don't know what I don't know until I try it and I fail, and then I adjust, right?
Yep, exactly. Well, I am so grateful that you are sharing your journey with us and that you're a part of this community. I'm so grateful that we met. I have been practicing what's up since Ireland, and, you know, just be prepared on the bus just in case we're not on the same team.
I'm going to be prepared. Yeah, Ashley better get ready too, because she was another fantastic player.
Maybe we'll whip it out at Desert Classic too. And,
I think we might need to.
We should. We'll get a big game going. Jenny, thank you. Keep in touch. I will see you. It's actually 45-ish days until DC, so it will be here before you know it. Thanks for sharing your experience on VISION54. You are an inspiration, you know, just knowing that you just started back into golf just a couple years ago and you're just like going full force. I love it. I love it.
Yes. And thank you for everything, for opening doors and opportunities, just showing people what can be done in a, you know, very approachable way. I think that's very important for women to see too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Until next time, Jenny. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Stay warm in Chicago.